point, I want to get into some quick hits. I want to show you how to make some cash flow money quick, what pivots to look at. First one we've talked about was VMW. VMW gapped up on earnings yesterday. We talked about selling into that strength, perhaps seeing the same type of reversal move like we saw in WIN. You take a look at VMW now. VMW is in the, I wouldn't say the penalty box, but it's going to need some time. If you sold into this or got short, that's cool. I do think if it, you could trade this along a little bit versus yesterday's low of 105.06. If it were to break this, I think that it comes into this base. And if you missed the first move on VMW, I think you get back involved right in this 100 area, but it could take some time. Now, as far as Apple, we talked about Apple yesterday. Apple also had a great report. It opened up, above 400, and it had an exhaustion move, which typically happens. Apple went from 310 to 400 and change. We talked about as an investor, sell some in-the-money calls for this scenario because you want to take the premium and then be able to sit through what could be a basing process. As far as for cash flow, a lot of my guys on the floor were looking to short it. They did. They had a lot of success. And now if you look at the chart here on Apple, you will see this is the pivot, this low of 386. So, you watch this area. Maybe it builds a high-level flag, or you could get a cute short below this area to see how far the gap it fills. Sometimes I've seen Apple even come all the way down and retest, the prior highs. So as far as an investment, if you're looking to get back in Apple, I would not just jump in today. If you sold into the strength, you have the luxury of looking to get back involved. I think we'll monitor the action for cash flow. I think traders are going to have a lot of fun with it. For an investor, I would wait maybe to retest that old high of around 364, but we'll monitor that along the way. As far another cash flow trade maybe that could go to the upside, I think is LVS. LVS has been in a 9-month channel. LVS basically was a great trade back in the day. We say that for fun, but it was fun from 19 to 40. Since then, it's been very, very choppy. I do still see a setup here with LVS. LVS has now been going sideways for about 9 months as it comes into this channel once again. If this thing can get above 46, I think it can get back to highs. So LVS I know is sloppy, so I've talked about an option strategy of maybe buying the August 46 so you don't have to deal with the noise. If you do options, at least you know your risk there and you don't have to monitor the day-to-day action. Earnings are out next week. I'd like to see WIN hold a certain level though because they sold this off on earnings. And WIN, you don't really like to see this, but it's fine considering the move that WIN had into the earnings. I'd like to see WIN hold this 155, 156 area. As long as it does this, I think the group remains strong, and that'll also help LVS, to the upside. And lastly, PNRA, PNRA. I haven't talked about this a lot, but it looks good. It has a nice high-level flag consolidating. I think earnings are out soon. If this were to get above this, 132.78, 133 level, it could make a move to highs. Yesterday, CMG. The earnings weren't great, inflation costs, but it could have been down 20. It was down, peanuts. So they still like this group. So this PNRA makes me feel better that if it does, have a big miss and you're invested there, you're not going to get too hurt. But for a trade, let's see if it goes before. And in oldie but goodie in the rare earth space, we've had a lot of fun with MCP. When that was on the move, right now it's still in corrective mode, has a huge downtrend. If it could break above this area, I think that MCP will have a nice little move. So if you take a look at the chart here, which I'm now seeing Jordan Kimball's charts here, if it can get above this point and figure chart of, let's go to the daily here. I do believe that the price was, all right. Anyway, we'll let Jordan talk about MCP at another time.